and we're going to pick this MSIX application, delivering it down via Intune, select myself as the developer ID. I'm just going to submit that job. You can see in Endpoint Manager here we don't have 7-zip created. Capture itself is creating all of these imports of the objects and creations of any dependencies in the staging areas. Just refresh this so you can see that has been done autonomously. Just click on the properties here to show that value of David actually kicked in. And the virtual machine now has been reverted back to the latest snapshot, and it's powering back on. I'll just go into some administrative area here for the job detail for the Intune package testing job. Just to demonstrate, we're going to be also collecting performance information, and we can stop services if we so wish. So let's go back and see if this machine's ready, which it is. Its real-time statuses are coming in here, so we're ready to connect to the machine as an end user to conduct this end user test. So we're just going to log into this Azure Active Directory authenticated virtual machine, so it's hosted in Azure, and our capture client kicks in to ensure that the payload from Intune has actually occurred. So we have this screen just pending here as the wizard loads to ensure that the payload comes down successfully. As you can see at the moment, 7-zip has not been installed onto this machine, so we're beholden to some Microsoft payload delivery. Okay, so now the capture client has loaded. We're now just waiting for the successful payload of the Intune application to come down onto this machine. As demonstrated earlier, 7-zip has been loaded into the Endpoint Manager, and now it looks like it has actually come down onto the machine. So let's get working through a UAT test. So if we start the test, we can see the questions that are being asked. We will load 7-zip as the product that we need to test. So did this launch? Yes, it did. And I won't be able to move forward here until I actually take a snapshot, because that's a prerequisite. So let me just take a snapshot here that the application has launched okay. This is where we can add some detail in as an example to say the application has passed the launch test. And just before I close out this test, I'm just going to zip something up just so that we can get some child processes also being captured for performance metrics that we're also bringing into this machine. So just going to select a few things to zip up. It's a good test to functionally test the application works as expected. Here I'm just zipping up a whole load of content so we can actually look at the performance data back in the tool when the application closes down the UAT test. Probably selected a bit too much data here, so let's try that again with a smaller set of data. Okay, that should be enough detail. So yes, it looks okay. And with a timeout here, it will close down for us. But I'll just finish the job off naturally. So the application here, the virtual machine will go back and be reused for another job. As that closes out, and we'll look at some of the information that's coming back in. So 7-zip is coming back in. The performance data has been brought back into the detail for the duration of the test. So I was only on the test for a few minutes, but that detail is coming back in successfully. In addition, the test answers are going to come back in, so the screenshot that I took has passed. And a few other things just to point out here. If I add in the end time, all this rich data has been brought into the database. So start time, stop time, so it was in the machine for 6 minutes doing a test, the job was successful and true, and the machine and platform on the Windows 10 version it was being tested against is also being collected. So a lot of rich data, the machine, the user, the time, the duration, the machine build, performance data of the system, and not only the system performance, but we're bringing in the parent and child performance of memory and CPU performance as well, for both the parent and the child processes and the system itself. Okay, thank you very much for watching.